Today's topic is one of the most disturbing films ever made. A piece of cinema that has sparked controversy, fear, and countless debate since its release. Today, we're diving into Guinea Pig, Flower of Flesh and Blood. This video is not for the faint-hearted, so viewer discretion is strongly advised. Guinea Pig, Flower of Flesh and Blood is a Japanese horror film from 1985, directed by Hideshi Hino, based upon his own manga. This film is the most notorious entry of the Guinea Pig series, as it is infamous for its graphic depictions of violence and gore. The plot is very simple. A samurai kidnaps a woman and systematically divides her in a disturbingly realistic fashion. The movie garnered controversy both in Japan and in the United States, but we'll get into that shortly. Hideshi Hino is a celebrated manga artist who specializes in horror stories. He was approached to make a film series based on his horror manga Guinea Pig, to which the first entry was also released in the same year as Flower of Flesh and Blood. Hino was asked to make a second version of Guinea Pig and was shown the first entry in the series, Devil's Experiment. After watching this, he then decided to use his manga, also called Flower of Flesh and Blood, as the basic script for the second installment. Apart from Hino explaining on the short making of featurette, there isn't much information available on the background of the movie. Hino knew that the special effects that were being created for this movie would have people guessing if it was, in fact, real. And he was right. The special effects for this movie at the time were some of the best ever in a horror movie. The special effects making of has a short section which showcases the props in full effect. The bones are made of polyester resin, and the flesh was made from sponges, with latex being used for the tendons. The amount of work that went into making this movie is astonishing. Wire work, puppet effects, and a lot of the fake red stuff makes the movie unforgettable. One scene in particular, which is a standout in this movie that is filled with standout moments. When the arm has been removed from the shoulder, you can hear her heart pumping and the red stuff is coming out of the wound with each pump of the heart. Sadly, we cannot show the footage here though, as even though it is fake and movie magic, the video would be limited and age restricted to who could see it, as it is so extreme. So what I have done, I have left links below for you if you would like to watch the full featurette and even the short film here on YouTube, but as I said, they are age restricted. What makes Flower of Flesh and Blood more than just another horror film is its notoriety that comes with the fact that it was so realistic, people actually believed it was a real snuff film. In Japan, the movie was examined by the boards of education throughout the country, and all copies of the movie were withdrawn from the market. Hino stated that he considered the withdrawal to be a great success for the movie. In 1992, 7 years after its release, Christopher Berthoud, then 26, was fined £600 for importing a copy into Great Britain. The movie was part of the video nasty craze that started here in the 80s, which had this series plus many more on the list. Berthoud's case went to court where the prosecution argued that, although the film did not feature footage of an actual homicide, it nevertheless can be categorized as a snuff video because it is so well simulated. This is the impression it creates. Now down to the controversy, which this movie saw its fair share of. Between 1988 and 1989, Japanese serial killer Tsutomu Miyazaki committed many horrible crimes and has said that he actually reenacted scenes from Flower of Flesh and Blood. This didn't sit well with many people, as the Tokyo Metropolitan Government attempted to cite the Guinea Pig series as an example that censorship was needed in Japanese entertainment. Hino has stated the following: "Unfortunately, the Fukugawa police viewed Guinea Pig 2 just before arresting Miyazaki. They didn't know Guinea Pig was a series, so as soon as they heard a Guinea Pig video had been found, they thought it was Guinea Pig 2. The Fukugawa police reported to the press that they'd found my movie in the room. By that evening, the misinformation was widespread." To go along with the thought of this being a real snuff movie, Hollywood actor Charlie Sheen was given a copy of the movie by film critic Chris Gore. The video in question was a very grainy and 5th generation copy, which made the movie look even more authentic, as the movie had been copied 4 previous times from the original VHS copy. After watching the movie, Sheen had become convinced that the film was so real, he got in touch with the FBI and reported the movie for being a snuff movie. The FBI confiscated the movie from Sheen and got in touch with Hino, who was able to show the making of featurette, and the investigation was dropped. The controversy raised questions about the boundaries of art, censorship, and the responsibility of filmmakers. It also thrust the Guinea Pig series into the spotlight, giving it more of a cult status. Despite, or perhaps because of, the controversy, Flower of Flesh and Blood became a touchstone in extreme horror cinema. It's been referenced and homaged by various filmmakers and continues to be discussed in horror communities around the world. The Charlie Sheen story as well has also taken the moniker as a now infamous urban legend. Jay McCroy, who wrote about the incident in his book Nightmare Japan, Contemporary Japanese Horror Cinema, where he states, "This has been recounted so frequently among hardcore aficionados of world horror cinema that with each retelling it comes closer and closer to assuming urban legend status." The film's legacy is very complicated. On one hand, it's a technical achievement in practical effects. On the other, it's often criticized for its lack of narrative and reliance on shock value. The debate over its artistic merit versus its exploitation continues to this day. Personally, I do find this movie to be a brilliant piece of practical filmmaking and nothing else. With the amount of horror that is available in this day and age, it's hard to stick out in such a crowded lobby. But back in the mid-80s, this was the movie you had to watch and was a badge of honor that horror lovers needed. Flower of Flesh and Blood is not everyone's cup of tea. Even some of the hardcore horror lovers have said that this is a movie that they cannot stomach. Ultimately, whether you view it as a piece of horror history or just another grotesque display, there's no denying its impact on the genre. If you're curious about extreme cinema, this is a film you might want to explore, but remember, it's a very extreme movie and not for the ones with a weak stomach. Thanks for watching. Let me know in the comments what you think about Flower of Flesh and Blood. Is it too extreme, or does it have a place in horror history? Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you won't miss any other the horror retrospective videos. Until next time, stay critical, stay safe. You can watch our other horror retrospectives here.